Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of our Derail Valley career series. Now in the last video we took the DE2 with our steel rails up to the harbor and we did a little bit of shunting with the S060. Now today I want to take something out of the harbor, which I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I just have to find it in this pile. I think it was this one here. So it's $20,000, that's pretty good. It's a long one. We got all the licenses we need for this one. I think this is the thing that we are going to take today. Now, yesterday we ended off the episode with $6,700, so that's pretty good. We got a little bit of fees on that, but that's not going to be too bad. Now, I'm just going to take a quick look through here just to make sure there's nothing else that I could take. No, I think this is probably our best choice here, unless we wanted to do some more shunting, but I kind of want to go on the road a little bit. So FH39, that's probably going to be in the E yard. So let's take a look here. Should be, these ones actually should be what it is. Let's check here. FH39, FH39, okay. So we found our consist. We'll just line these switches up so that we can just reverse in with no problems. Alright. And as you guys know, we ended off yesterday with our shunting job with the S060, so we'll be taking that thing out to Machine Factory and Town. Hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. We're on episode 3 now, so we are pretty decently far into the series. So far, I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I like the extra challenge of the payouts. Alright. We should be able to get over with our current steam pressure. I don't think we need to worry about that very much right now. Let's go back into here. We'll only start the fire once we're actually over and connected up. Alright, so let's put the reverser in the corner. Fully released. Let's close that door so we don't accidentally fall out. I've really been enjoying the steam simulation. I think it's probably the funnest aspect of Derail Valley. Very immersive and in-depth, so I really like that. We probably don't need high beams right now. We can probably settle for day operation lights, actually. Alright, so we're at 40 kilometers an hour. That's pretty much a good yard speed. I like that little horn. That is a cute little horn. So let's turn that off. Didn't mean to turn that on. And as we already know, we are already lined in. I quite like the regulator on this locomotive. It's very unique. It's quite interesting. So we'll reverse back up and get to where we need to go. Give it a little bit more power. And as the train is pretty much 400 tons, we should still be able to haul that up the hill, so I don't have any doubts about that. This train can actually do pretty much 400, maybe 450 tons. It's like our D2 is still over there. That's fine. connect up to these. Alright, let's get this thing ready to rock and roll. I'll go redeem the job. It looks like it's gonna start raining soon. Alright, so let's redeem that. C3I, that's actually, I know where that is, so I already know where to line ourselves into. Now we will start the fire on the locomotive and get it ready to go. Alright, let's hop into the cab here. Let's get this fire back rolling. Alright, that fire's back up and going. Let's refill the water before we start going. I think I might stop in at the Oil Well Central just to refill the water tank of this S060, since the water content of it is quite low in comparison to the S282. Let's close that. Now, I did forget to put the damper down last time I played on episode 2, but, you know, that's just something that I should have been paying attention to. But let's see how this thing behaves in the rain. I don't think I've did a harbor haul with this engine yet with the rain upon us, so I think it should do fine. Alright, so our pressure is coming up. Start adding a little bit of regulator onto here. Just go pull on the ceiling. Let's engage those cylinder cocks. Bring back the regulator a little bit more. We did redeem the job, so we're all good to go. Now, I think one thing that I'm definitely going to get before ending today's episode is the manual service. I think that's going to be the goal for the end of the episode. And that's what we're going to strive to get. Our fire is fed. I'm just going to keep the damper open for now until we're up and over the hill. Once we are up and over the hill, I'll just reduce it, just so we don't overproduce our steam. That is one thing I did kind of fail to mention on the S282's tutorial, is when you don't need the steam, you don't really need to have the damper fully open. You can have it closed. But usually on the coal line, you need as much steam as you can get, so that's kind of why I didn't really mention it. But, you know, if you're anywhere else other than the coal mine, you probably won't need all the steam. I say out of the harbor is like the only other place that you need as much steam as you can get, especially if you're hauling heavy. But this little engine can do, out of the harbor, I'm pretty sure it can do like 500 tons. I don't think I've had any problems hauling that much tonnage. Alright, let's prepare to climb this hill. Oh, did somebody spill oil on these things? Like, what the hell? That's odd. Is that on all of them? Or, I don't know. That's kind of, I've never noticed that before. Put it on the ceiling again. One more notch of regulator. That's why not. We got pretty much all the water we need in there. Feed this fire a little bit more. So north is that way. Okay. So this is kind of coming in from the east. We'll just keep the reverser in its current position for now until we get onto that really steep section. Then we'll probably start putting it forward a bit. But I don't think this one will have much of a problem getting up this hill. This little steamer is pretty capable if you know what you're doing with it. So this is kind of where it gets a little bit more iffy, but nothing this thing can't handle. I don't even think we need to go into the corner. Put a little bit of sand on, because I feel like those piston cycles were sounding a bit weird. Kind of sounded like it might have been slipping, so just put a little bit of sand on just in case. You can see our water level is a little bit lower, so we will fill that back up. This engine does guzzle the water real fast, so that's something you really gotta watch out for. Bring back the regulator, or sorry, the reverser a little bit. I always get the regulator and reverser mixed up because they sound pretty similar. You can see our water is pretty much back up where it needs to be anyways, so. You can see our pressure is coming down. That is something that happens with this locomotive. Pressure does come down. I'm going to try to keep our steam consumption a little bit lower than usual. See, our pressure is coming back up. Give 2 more extra notches of the reverser, just in case. Because you only really start losing pressure once your piston cycles are really going, once you're going real fast, and you have the reverser too far forward, then you're wasting steam, but once you're going slower, then you can move it up forward without worrying about losing pressure. So as you can see, we're getting up the hill perfectly fine. There's really no problems here with that. So we'll reduce the amount of sand. Hitboxes seem to be a bit weird with that. I think they need to edit that, because you can see there's like no margin of error for that. So we're pretty much flattening out now, so we should be able to speed up. We'll speed up to 50 or so. And this game really is beautiful. I'm not even at max settings either. Although max settings is kind of pointless anyways. I mean, once you get to a certain graphical fidelity, it kind of gets to the point where it's like not really detailed and not really worth the extra FPS loss. Let's just bring that back a little bit. One more. Now our water still needs to fill up a bit more, so we'll just let that go for a little bit. Are those ones dirty on this side? No, it looks like there's certain skins where they aren't dirty and some of them are. Okay, I guess that makes sense. They gotta add a little bit of variety to the textures, I suppose. Alright, our water seems to be pretty good now. To keep that fire fed. We'll put the damper down just a tad bit, because we probably are overproducing a little bit of our steam. watch a little drive-by of the locomotive. Add a little bit more regulator. Oops. Guess we get to watch it drive by again. We're spewing out smoke, but like no tomorrow. There you have it. The water does go down super quick. That is really something you gotta watch out for. So pressure's good. I'm gonna go down a little bit more. We really don't need to be producing as much steam as we got right now. And to be fair, you don't really need that much pressure unless you're like climbing. So if you're on flat ground, 9 or like in between 9 and 6 is probably fine. You're not gonna like stall out on a flat ground if you don't have those kinds of pressures. You only really want 15 or in between 12 and 15 boiler pressure once you're going up hills. You know, conquering steep climbs. That's the only time when you really actually need to start thinking about that. So we're pretty much fine on our sand. I don't think we're going to need that much anymore. It looks like our water is good anyways. Once we get manual service, then this stuff's probably going to get a little bit cheaper. I'm going to bring this up a little bit just for now until we get over this climb here. As you guys will have seen on the DH4 tutorial, if you've watched this before this one, this climb isn't really all that steep. And also the DM3 as well. It wasn't that steep and difficult for it, so this little tunnel climb's nothing to really worry about. So as you can see, the steam pressure's not terrible, but it's not good, but you know, when you're not, like, climbing, it's not really that big of a deal anyways. So now we're on flat ground. I'm gonna actually just open this the rest of the way for now, just so we can get our pressure up a little bit more. And once it gets pretty much in between 9 and 12, I'll put it back down. I just want to get a decent amount of speed going. So water's a bit low, so we'll refill that again. I'm so used to leaning my head out, even though I have a perfectly fine view through that. It's just the S060 or the S282 kind of desensitized me to just doing that anyways. We'll just keep the regulator where it's at right now. So as you can see, our pressure is going down anyway, so once you go too far on the stick, then it kind of gets to a point where you're not speeding up anymore anyways, so let's go watch this thing drive by again. I like this external view. That is a good addition. I really like that they added that. Adds that little like option for cinematic. I don't even know how to pronounce that word right now. Those cinematic shots, I guess that's how you say it. So water's full, that's to be expected. And pressure doesn't really go maximum anyways, even when you're on these flat sections, because, you know, you're using a lot of steam up when you're going this fast, especially in this little locomotive. I'm just gonna bring it back one more anyways. We're going 50 kilometers an hour, it's pretty good. This little steamer is not fast by any means. So I hope you guys are having a nice Tuesday today. Hopefully you're having a good day. I know I am. This is quite fun doing these episodes. And if you guys are enjoying the series so far, consider liking the video, subscribing, and maybe sharing it with your friends. That would help me out a lot. So we're pretty much at our cruising speed right now. You can't really go much faster than what we are right now. So at this point, I'm just gonna put the damper all the way down. We don't really have a climb until we get to City Southwest, so we don't really have to worry about our boiler pressure for the time being. We're just gonna cut the throttle for now. We'll just let it coast for now. So this video is getting released in conjunction with the DH4 tutorial, which should be released at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 9th of August 2023, and this one should be released at 6 p.m. So DH4 tutorial first, and then the third episode after at 6 p.m. I think 6 p.m. might be 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. might be like the regular time that these career series get uploaded, and then the tutorials will be more or less just whenever. Got an 80 zone, but we ain't gonna get that fast, that's for sure. .60 zone. We'll just apply our full regulator for now. .60 zone on the way down, and then we'll have a 50 zone when we get to the Y. So we're just gonna chill out on the regulator for now. We're gonna put, give or take, 1.5 bars of pressure. We'll release a little bit. We just want to kind of control our descent. We don't want to be gaining speed, but we don't want to be losing speed. Once we find a good balance of brakes that can do that, then that'll be optimal. It looks like this is more or less a good balance, maybe a little bit less. Apply a little bit more. So we will have to go left here, I'm pretty sure. And we will want to brake a little bit harder than this. Alright, cool. Now we're lined in. 50 zone, but it's fine if you go like a tad bit over. And it goes pretty steep here, so I'm just going to keep the brakes where they are. Yeah, you can see some of the difference between the cars there. Some of them are more vibrant and some of them are more dull. You can see that we are going a bit fast, so we're going to just apply full independent just to give us that little bit more braking power. And we can fully release. Let's get ourselves in the corner. Now we can go up to 60 if we want. I doubt we're going to get up to that speed, but, you know, may as well try. A little bit of a sunroof. Too bad this slider doesn't work, though. Would have been nice if they would have added that little functionality. A little bit more water to the boiler. Like I said, we are going to be stopping in Oil Well Central just so we can refill and restock. Unless we want to be a little bit daredevilish, and we could just try to make it the whole way to reduce the amount we have to pay. Actually, I might try that because it doesn't look like the water's too low. I think I might try that. If I check on here, yeah, the water's gonna be fine. We can make it. I think we can make it no problem. We don't got that far to go anyways. We'll start getting some more pressure going in there. As you saw, I had pretty low pressure. I wasn't really paying attention to that. Looks like we're aligned through the yard. Not to take something hazardous sometime through here. Something out of here. They definitely have very, very dangerous cargo that they source out of this place. It would be fun to take something hazardous like this. The one thing about this locomotive is it does not maintain pressure very easily. You can see and it doesn't generate it either very fast. You can see we aren't going up very much in our pressure. I think it might be to do with the fire not being super hot. Because I do have the damper all the way open, so I don't know, maybe it's something to do with that. We should still be able to go anyways. Have to slow down to 30 anyway, so now our temperature's going up. I don't know what that's about. That's kind of weird. So we are gonna have to slow down to 30 here. I might just do independent brake because I don't think we need that much braking force. You can take it through 40 through this junction. I like the color combination. It matches with the rail cars. That is quite cool. Except these brake pads don't look like they don't look like they're overheating, which is interesting. Seeing as they're supposed to be glowing. Oh, you can see inside the locomotive. That's funny. It's kind of empty in there. I wonder if you have max regulator, maybe it's pulling more air through the firebox, which makes it hotter, maybe, on this particular loco. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, because the firebox temperature does go up after you start giving it more regulator. Maybe that's what's happening. We've got another 30 zone up here anyway, so we'll have to slow down for that. Let's see, is the firebox temperature going down now? Yeah, I think that might be what's happening. I think my theory is that the firebox temperature goes up because the regulator pulls air through the chest or something, like something to do with how the steam engine works. The more regulator you put on, the more airflow or something like that. I think something funky's going on there. Now we should be able to pump it here. Just give her max throttle here. Or regulator if you want to call it that. And our pressure is actually doing a lot better now. Still doing pretty good on temperature. And as for water, we're doing fine on water. I guess I was worrying a bit too much. That might be the reduced resource consumption at play. Because I feel like I would have had to stop at Oil Well Center if I was doing it normally. Definitely has been overcast, but it hasn't really rained too much. I mean, it did when we were out of the harbor, but not really anymore. Yeah, that is quite interesting. Never would have thought that that was how that worked, but I guess maybe it is. So that's pretty much as far back as I'm gonna take it. I think this is a climb, but like a very mild climb, but once you get onto this section here after this switch, that's where it goes real steep, I think. I don't think it's as steep as the harbor, but it's steep. It'll probably slow us down a little bit. We're popping the safety, we'll just bring it back down a notch. Should be able to just put that on daylight running. We've got a 60 zone up here. We don't gotta worry about that though. You really don't have to worry about speed limits with the S060 unless it's like below the 50 mark pretty much. Once it goes below 50, then you kind of have to worry about it a little bit, but really not that bad to be honest. So the switch is lined the right way. Whenever I go from City Southwest to Food Factory, I always go, I always hitch a right on this one. I'm pretty sure everyone does, though. Except when I was playing Overhauled, it never crossed my mind that I could just cut across through there. So I always ended up just going the long way around, which, I don't know what that was all about, but... Right now we're on a flat section, so we should be able to maintain a little, or gain a little bit more speed now. So I think we should get, if it's 20,000, I think we should get 30,000, right? Because it's 50% extra, I believe, if you get the order bonus. Pretty sure that's how it works. And that's getting low, so we should probably add more water before we get a boiler explosion. Add a little bit more coal into there. How are we doing on coal, though? Okay, we're not doing too bad. 1.5%, alright, so this is kind of where it starts going steep. Just gonna let the water go for a little bit. And it was C4I, right? C3I, okay, I see. Still should be good. Take that up a little bit here. And that should be good for now. And this is a 1% climb. Okay, so it's not too bad. Unless it goes steeper, but I don't think we should have a problem getting up that. What does that one say over there? That's not a switch. What are you talking about? Okay, 1.7%. Alright, so it does actually go a bit steeper, but I don't think it's anything this thing shouldn't be able to get up. Especially since it's probably only going to be a very short section before we start leveling off onto the yard. Yeah, so to be honest, I think I'm just going to be doing a lot of steam engine stuff on this save. I'm not sure if I'm going to do very much diesel stuff. I think I'll do it here and there, like on a few episodes. Like out of 10 episodes, I would say I'd probably do eight of them or so with steam locomotives, maybe 7. Because I do like diesels, but, you know, the steam engines are just so much more in-depth. You have to maintain them, you gotta make sure the steam pressure don't get low. It's very engaging. So in my opinion, that's kind of where the real stuff is at. Yeah, other than that, I'd say the DM3 is probably pretty engaging as well for a diesel. But, I mean, to be honest, the DH4 and the DE6 and the DE2, they're just sort of like a sit there and just drive, rather than a sit there, maintain your RPMs, make sure you don't stall, and blah blah blah, you know, stuff like that. Okay, so we need to be lined to the right here. And then the next switch we need to go to the left. A little bit more reverser. There's 3 DE6s here. Holy shit. I wonder if there's more. There might be more hiding behind that tree. I guess we're gonna have to try to see if we can peek in there. See if there's one hiding. That one needs to be the other way. Let's see, is there another one? There's 1, 2... Oh, there's a DM3. So, 3 DE6s, 1 DM3, and 1 DE2. That's pretty cool. I'm probably not going to abandon this S060 for a little bit, though, because it is going to be our trusty little S060 for a little bit. And need to be lined into that one there. So we should be lined in now. Yep. Alright. Alright, cool. That was actually a pretty successful journey, if I'm gonna be honest. I think that went pretty good. Didn't have too much hiccups. And we'll just gradually apply maximum brakes here. So it looks like water's still good. So we should be able to leave the train temporarily here. And let's go redeem this job and see how much we get. You know, depending on how much this costs, yeah, that's decently expensive. Okay, so we got 30,000. Okay, so that is how much we expected. Can we buy the manual service right away, though? No. Okay, well, that's fine. So, we're gonna get that. Pay for that. Got 34 grand. So we can buy 2 licenses, or we can save money. I think we're gonna buy 2 licenses, because why not? So first one we're gonna get is manual service. So we'll be able to save a little bit of cash on that, hopefully. And then we're gonna get concurrent orders 1. Now our copay is going up a lot. So we can take multiple jobs if we want, and everything like that. So, that's going to be the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We did make a significant amount of progress today. Got 2 licenses. And I will be excited to get back to the next episode. And I hope you guys have been liking this series so far. If you have, make sure to like it, subscribe, share with your friends, because, you know, that really does help me a lot. It'll help me with motivation. It'll help me with, you know, the algorithm and the audience and all that stuff. It'll help me. But that's all for me, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!